Comic Crook family, so happy to be back here with my brother Keith. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good, brother. I'm glad to be back in the studio too. We're gonna try a fucking live stream right now, which is kind of exciting.
Yeah, yep. And it's been a while, so we have plenty to talk about.
Oh yeah.
And I know people definitely want us to touch the topic of Deadpool.
Oh yeah, Deadpool, the X-Men trailer.
Yeah,
That's the X-Men '97 trailer is very, very exciting right now.
absolutely. Also, if we have time, I want to get into some Madam Web review. So I got to see the movie, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my feelings and opinions on that without spoiling anything.
How bad did they do my boy Ezekiel? Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna click this live stream button and see what happens.
Let's do it.
Here we go. All right, let's see what's going on here. Oh, probably should hit the start button.
All right.
Click here. We'll probably have to edit out a little bit of this just sitting here. To get a better sound quality and avoid echo, please use your mic and head to the live stream. Okay.
Cool. Still
Empty messages.
Did you
Oh,
hit
look at
start?
this calling.
Yeah, starting to see.
Interesting.
All right.
Callings, audio effects, music, add music.
That's cool.
Okay. We're gonna try to share it to Facebook here. Oh, look at this.
Show love on our live stream.
Yeah, guys. Right? Yeah, like you guys can't hear this right this second because we're just recording.
Yeah. Show love on the live stream, you guys. We want to hear from you guys, seriously.
Post on the Comic Crooks page that we're about to go live.
Know how that quality is sounding. Are we sounding clear enough?
Yeah. Sadly, we haven't figured out the video part of it, but at least we're on live.
Right.
So yeah, dude, bring us in, brother.
So we started kind of the conversation that we had missed quite a bit of time.
Right. Yeah.
Within this bit of time, a lot has been happening. So we're going to go over quite a few of the popular conversations that's been happening for the duration of the time that we haven't really been doing this. So number one I would like to start to talk about is Deadpool 3.
Nice, dude. Yeah. That's just got me too excited, bro. Like that's gonna like, what does he say? I'm the Marvel Jesus.
Yeah. He's like, I'm something Messiah like that in Marvel Jesus. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's I can't wait to see all the different variants and like, dude, I don't care. I want Daniel Radcliffe to play Patch.
That's okay with me.
Yeah,
that's okay.
I think that'd be sick, dude. Like, cause Patch is one of those characters that you don't really know about unless you're like an OG fan. Like Joe Fixit. And,
yeah.
That's fucking exciting, dude.
Yeah, but the fact that they even put his back in the in the trailer.
Well, then it's obviously him.
Yeah,
it's obviously Patch.
Well, it was kind of set up. If you watch Captain America, Falcon and Captain America show, Falcon and Winter Soldier show. Sorry about that. They actually go to Madripoor, which is the main setting of where that variant Patch, which is Wolverine, is from. And that's where he actually gets that patch. That's where he's getting his that sort of name is established in that location. Very interesting. I was really excited because I had came up with a synopsis, essentially saying if I were to make Deadpool 3, and this is before, I swear no one has to believe me, but I had this conversation. I said if it was up to me, the way I would make Deadpool 2 fit in to the MCU was I would just utilize the last scene where he takes Cable's time traveling machine, and he messes with the timeline as he does, and the TVA from the MCU have to stop him, kind of edit things. And that was just a guesstimate. That was just like that's how I would do it. And then when I seen it happen in the trailer, I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah. Did you see that he saluted Captain America?
Yes.
I thought that was cool as hell,
Yes.
dude.
Yeah. So
He's like, I smell what does he say? I smell what you're putting down, Sensei.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
something like that.
It's an amazing trailer. I'm super excited to see Hugh Jackman back. That I could do a video on that alone.
Yeah. Well, one of the like theories that I saw was that since Morbius is gone, or Mobius,
Yeah, Mobius.
that's Paradox that he's talking to.
It is Paradox. So when you put on the captions on the trailer, it actually
Says Paradox?
it says Paradox.
Damn, dude, that's
So crazy. The villain in this movie is going to be Casanova.
that's Professor X's like
Correct.
twin, right? Or
Yes.
like a multi-dimensional twin, something like that.
Yes. So she has the same abilities as Charles Xavier.
Right.
So imagine that on a dangerous level. This is going to be a crazy movie.
Right.
I mean, if the trailer was as nuts as it is, I can't wait to see the movie. I did notice a few things of the trailer that I don't think a lot of people did. The beginning of the trailer starts off with him saying happy birthday to himself. A lot of the characters that were presumed dead in Deadpool 2 before he went back in time and changed things are back. But one thing I couldn't help but notice is it doesn't seem like Deadpool and Vanessa are on good terms.
Right. Well, you can kind of see that because she calls him buddy or something like that.
And I think and maybe I'm just overshooting the shot here, but I feel like if she was on good terms, it would be baby, right? It'd be baby. Mm-hmm. Then there's like this really awkward scene where he's kind of like forcing a smile, and they're kind of putting on some sort of. So my big thing,
because he looks bummed out,
Yeah. So I think, what if him going back in time actually stopped her from having it was horrible that she got shot, but I think what ended up happening is, this is just me throwing ideas out here again, is he actually stopped her from having a quicker death, and this new reality that he created, she's actually having a slower death. I actually do assume she has cancer.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Because it's like on the same thing where like Mary Jane developed radiation sickness from Spider-Man's semen.
Yeah.
Hey, and that's actually part of the story. I'm not making that up.
Yep.
So, but yeah, like I could tell like right away, dude. I think it's gonna be really good. Like, what does he say? So what are those for? I'm not afraid of pegging. Like that's that's nothing new to me. But in Disney, and he like winks at the camera.
Yeah. For sure. So, I mean, this would be the third person now in the MCU who actually broke the fourth wall. So the first one was Scarlet Witch in Multiverse of Madness. There's a scene where she actually looks at the camera, like at the camera, looking at you.
I didn't
like
catch
she
that.
can, yeah. Like almost like because she's going through the multiverse and she's almost accepting that she can see past this
right.
reality. And then the second one was in She-Hulk. She consistently talked to the camera.
Oh, well, that's part of She-Hulk's character.
But that's part of She-Hulk's character. She breaks the fourth
Yeah.
wall. Another detail that kind of confirms what I'm feeling is Deadpool has a wig literally stapled to his head.
Yeah.
So I was like, did he do it out of like
trying to look normal?
Yeah, is he being ironic? Is it just being Deadpool? But I think it's more that I think that she's wearing a wig as well. And I think he's trying to like make her feel better.
Right. Like like when somebody has cancer and you shave your head too, type of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm getting. I think that that's going to be a big dynamic in what the story is going to be, as far as there's going to be cause and effects for everything. When you mess with the multiverse, well, you can stop one thing from happening in one dimension. It will create another dimension where this is a result of that. So,
well, it's like the way in the Flash movie, the way Bruce Wayne describes it as being like a bowl of spaghetti.
Yeah.
That's like it's all gonna like strand off and be different things. You know what I mean? And I think what's the MCU is gonna do with this Deadpool movie is really gonna be awesome. Because I personally haven't been excited about an MCU movie in a long time. You know that.
Yeah.
Like I think the last one I saw in the theater was see, I couldn't even tell you the last one I saw in the theater.
Yeah. Well, Thor: Love and Thunder is one.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you
it's
really,
one. Yeah,
you really
I
like.
enjoyed the hell out of Love and Thunder. I think that was, to right now, is probably one of my favorites. You know, it's like I didn't care for Quantumanium. I didn't care for.
I agree.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Marvels yet, so I can't say anything on that.
I loved the Marvels. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I loved it.
Yeah,
I really did.
I don't know. Like I said, I've heard like people hating on it, but I don't know why. Like I haven't seen the movie.
What I would say is, I think people have, and this is going to open up a whole nother can of worms for people who are very sensitive. People have this undying, blind hatred towards Brie Larson.
I do. I like Brie Larson. I
have nothing against the woman. I heard she made a comment, something along the lines of, and maybe I'm misquoting, and we don't really do the drama thing on this thing, but what I've heard is what she said is something along the lines is, I don't make my movies for elderly Caucasian people.
What? She said that?
Yeah. So I think it was like a shot at like kind of like Hollywood and the higher ups in Hollywood.
Right.
I don't see that being such a huge deal. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't see that. I see how it's controversial. I see how that can be like, oh, maybe she should have said that. And I don't necessarily agree with anything she's saying. So One thing I'm making clear, nothing we talk about on this channel is us agreeing or disagreeing with anybody. What I am saying
We're saying
is
that now. We're just saying that
yeah.
now.
But what I am saying is that I don't think that's a fair reason to crap on an actor. I think if you're going to judge an actor, let's judge the actor by the way they act,
and the role,
performance they
roles
deliver.
They
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Brie Larson is solid.
Yeah,
I had no problems with Captain Marvel.
I loved the Captain Marvel movie.
It was a good movie.
I thought it was kind of hokey how they had how they explained Nick Fury losing his eye. I thought that was kind of hokey.
Yeah. I mean,
but still, it wasn't just a cat. It was a
Flurgan. Yeah, it was an alien. So
it wasn't just a cat. It can eat whole people.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I just. Because Nick Fury, like I've been a Nick Fury ever since the David Hasselhoff portrayal. Mm-hmm. I remember watching that, and God, dude, 94, 95 off the top of my head. I thought David Hasselhoff was awesome as Nick Fury. You know what I mean?
Well, David Hasselhoff is also David Hasselhoff. So
right. Well, here's the thing, though, is that Samuel L. Jackson did such a good job that they changed it in the comic books.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, okay, cool with that.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
I mean? Like even in like a lot of the cartoon portrayals now, he's drawn to look like Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
So that's very rare that an actor can just like come in and take over a role like that. Like when Michael Clark Duncan came in and did Kingpin. Yeah. I was like, I'm cool with this. Yeah. That was the first probably the first race swap that ever has happened in from a comic book to a movie.
For sure.
That was probably the first race swap, and I remember being like, God, however old I was when Daredevil came out, and like for a quick second, I'm like, wait a minute, Kingpin's not black, and then like 15 minutes into the movie, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. This is badass.
Well, he killed it. Michael,
Well, now Vincent D'Onofrio, dude. God damn, dude. Like
the man is Kingpin. The man is Kingpin.
Yeah. So I didn't mean to get you.
No, you're all good. No, for sure. So the Marvels was really good. I ended up really enjoying it. There's going to be a scene, and it's kind of me spoiling it. But there's a scene where they go somewhere, and I'm not really ruining the movie. Well, they go to a planet where their native tongue is singing.
Interesting.
Okay. And I appreciate that reaction. I know there's going to be a lot of people who are like, oh, what the hell is this? And this is not comic accurate. And let's be real, man. I love the comics, but there's some things that cannot translate from comic to live action. It just doesn't make sense, right? And the MCU and as a whole is not completely comic book accurate.
Well, yeah, because it's their cinematic universe,
right?
And that took me decades. Just movies being different from the comics.
For sure.
Took me decades to be okay with. Like I remember when I went and saw the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, I was like, wrong.
Oh yeah, there was a lot. Yeah.
But it took me until I was like, okay, this is a different thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I can't lie, I was a gatekeeper for comics for a long time.
Well, for sure. I mean, we love the characters, we love the truth behind it.
Well, and here's the thing is like I always thought of them as like, that's not the original story.
Right.
But a lot of the stuff that I came across when I was a kid wasn't the original story. You know what I'm saying? I've said this before on the show that like growing up, my Batman was Michael Keaton, but growing up, my dad's Batman was Adam West. So who's right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
There's a lot of people that grew up with Christian Bale as their Batman, and
So yeah, I mean, necessarily that's supposed to be my Batman. That was as far as time frame wise. But growing up, the first person that I was seeing as Batman was was Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton, yeah.
That's my Batman to this day.
Same. You know, I've got love for Ben Affleck, but Michael Keaton he's just without Michael Keaton, the Flash movie would not have. You know, like I love the Flash. I absolutely love the Flash, and I saw the movie twice in the theater just because I love the Flash.
100%.
But if it wasn't for Michael Keaton, I wouldn't have seen it a second time.
100%. What I will say is, we actually went on a whole rant about the Flash. If you guys haven't heard that episode, please go back and listen to that.
I think it was a good hour long episode.
It was So I mean, so I'll sum it up. My opinion ended up being that there was a lot of opportunities missed. That was an equal opinion that you shared as well. So,
I just don't think Ezra Miller was the right choice. Just from the original.
I just didn't think the director was the right choice. I don't think the writer was the right choice, and I just don't think Ezra Miller was the right choice either.
Right.
The Marvels was great. Go see it. Actually, it's on Disney Plus.
Is it already?
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus.
Okay.
Watch it. It's actually a really solid movie. What I would say is my favorite part is Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel.
She personifies the role so well, because if you guys are not familiar with who Miss Marvel is, she's a Pakistani from New Jersey, who actually grows up loving the Avengers, loving all the Marvel.
What's her name? Is it America, or am I thinking of somebody different?
Oh, that's America Sanchez.
She's in Doctor Strange.
She's in Doctor Strange.
Right. Okay.
No, I'm talking about Kamala Khan.
Kamala Khan, yeah. Yes. I was like, it sounds something like America, Kamala.
Yeah. So she's incredibly charming in this movie. The character itself is a super fan of other heroes that live in her universe.
That's way cool.
And she personifies the hell out of it. There's a scene where Captain Marvel
just a
pops
fangirl.
up, and she's like freaking out, like, "Oh my god, you know my name! Oh my god, you know."
That's in the trailer, I think.
She absolutely killed it. Monica Rambeau was fire. The post-credit scenes are two of the best post-credit scenes I've seen in Marvel in the longest.
That's the one. Beast is in that, right?
Yes.
Who does his voice in that? Is it Chelsea Grammer?
It's Chelsea Grammer.
That's the only acceptable person anymore, right?
Listen, and then the way they made him look, they actually used CGI. I'm sorry.
Did you guys
I got so excited that I knocked the mic away. They used CGI. They used the the body technology thing.
The motion capture?
Yep, motion cap. And then voiceovers as well.
Yeah.
And they even got the teeth to fit. It's
dude,
out of this world.
When Chelsea Grammer hit the screen as in the first, and what was that, X-Men Last Stand?
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, oh my god, that's the perfect Beast. When he drops "Oh My Stars and Garters," I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like they were just so perfect.
For sure.
And then God, dude, who else? What was it?
Oh, and then I'm sorry. So that scene actually shows two X-Men characters, one that has yet to be seen in any live action iteration ever, not even the Fox series. So it actually shows Binary, and Beast.
Nice.
Binary is actually a variant of the original. What's her name? Captain Marvel's best friend, Monica Rambeau. So you know how in Multiverse of Madness she's Captain Marvel,
right? Yeah.
She's actually Binary in this X-Men universe.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the costume is like.
Yeah, is it on point?
Directly.
Yeah,
incredible.
I've seen a couple of clips of Beast, and Beast is a personal favorite. Like, we'll talk about X-Men here shortly.
For sure.
But yeah, Beast for me is like he's one of those childhood heroes. Beast was such a badass. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but yeah.
No, you're good, man.
But yeah, like I restarted the X-Men animated series in anticipation for '97, and dude,
I like the Alpha Flight episodes.
Yeah,
those were some of my favorites.
Well, that was the Spider-Man cartoon, the X-Men cartoon, like that.
Sure.
I think that was there's yet to be a better iteration as far as like an era
I agree.
of cartoon comic books, comic book cartoons. I mean,
I agree.
Like, in that whole era, we had X-Men, we had Spider-Man, we had Wildcats, we had Fantastic Four.
Yep.
And I'm sure I'm missing a lot. Silver Surfer.
We had Silver Surfer. We had Iron Man.
Iron Man. Yeah.
We had also I think it was a Unlimited Spider-Man.
Spider-Man Unlimited.
Spider-Man Unlimited.
Yeah.
We
that
had
was
a
one
whole
where he
bunch
goes to a
of them,
different planet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and because he's chasing the symbiotes and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, 90s animation was the coolest, bro.
It really is. What I will say is I think early 2000s definitely held its own too.
Oh yeah.
With like the Justice Leagues and
the Justice League cartoon.
Justice League Unlimited, and then you missed the Batman from the 90s.
Oh, dude, how did it? Oh my god, that's the
that
best
was
one.
like, yeah,
The
absolutely.
best one.
I can't even argue that. Yeah.
Kevin Conroy.
Yeah,
dude,
that was
like,
incredible.
to this day, when I read comic books, I hear Kevin Conroy's voice.
For sure.
Same thing with Mark Hamill. When that's just who they are. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
Like, did you see Crisis on Infinite Earths?
Yes. It was so well done on the CW. It was
yeah.
incredible.
Well, and then did you see the most recent animation, War World?
Yes.
Dude, good.
Yes.
That was, like, Jensen Ackles as Batman. I'm down.
I know. So we were talking. We'll have to talk about that a little bit more for sure.
Yeah.
I'm down with him as Batman.
Him, it's going to either, like, for live action, it's either going to be him. For me, it's going to either be him or Alan Rickson.
I would want
The guy that
Alan
plays
Rickson for
Richard.
a different person, though. I can see the appeal for Batman. Don't get me wrong. I can see the
He's
appeal.
6'4".
I
dude.
know. I can see the appeal for Batman, but what I would like him to be is just a monster of a character.
You know who he needs to be?
Bane.
Wildcat.
Do it.
Yeah, dude, the guy that taught Batman, the guy that taught Bruce how to box.
Yeah.
Like he's a part of the Justice League and doesn't even have powers. He's just a bad motherfucker. Dude.
He can. Yeah.
He's a cage fighter.
Yeah, and then he has his hands wrapped up and everything. Yeah. No, that'd be crazy.
That's my cast for him.
I would want him to be Aquaman.
Ooh,
and he actually played Aquaman
in
Smallville, but I would like him to be how he is now.
That'd be interesting.
I think you can. I think it'd be perfect. This is why I explain it, because I think when they did Jason Momoa, they tried to go so far away from what made Aquaman, and they only chose Jason Momoa because he's like as manly as can get, and Aquaman's a fucking joke.
He's got the same powers as SpongeBob.
But I will say, in the comics, he's not a fucking game.
No, dude, he's a bad
beast.
motherfucker, dude.
So I would like it to be him because he's blonde hair and blue eyes. I want him to recapture kind of what it was to be Aquaman.
Yeah.
Are you gonna laugh at fucking that dude, Alan Richardson? Are you gonna fucking get the fuck out of here?
Because like
he's 6 something, 6 foot
6'4".
something. And he's just an animal.
He's jacked.
So he could just
in the comics he can go blow for blow with Superman.
Oh yeah.
So
So I would say he can grow out a beard a little bit. I would like the beard.
Doesn't even have to.
I seen him with longer hair in the new Fast and Furious movie, and I said I would like that for Aquaman. Just a little bit longer on the top. I'm just kind of painting the picture here, and just put him in the suit, dude. It would just be.
Did you see that? Did you see all the rumors about Henry Cavill?
Yes,
dude.
Henry Cavill is now in the MCU, man.
Yeah, as Captain Britain.
It's just perfect.
Yeah,
it's just perfect.
Yeah.
Either that, or they just put him as Sentry, and we're happy.
You see all the backlash. They ended up getting rid of Steven Yeun.
Yeah, so I heard he walked away from the project because he wasn't feeling it. But then I'm also hearing that he was the problem.
Yeah.
There's always going to be 5 sides to the story, and one of them is the truth.
I can't see Steven Yeun as Sentry.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I like Steven Yeun.
Well,
nothing wrong with
awesome, but just not Sentry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sentry.
I agree.
Have him play Morph. That would be sick.
There's so much. You know who I would like him to play? There's a mutant or inhuman. I could be wrong. I want to say his name is Reptile or something like that. He can turn himself into any sort of dinosaur, and his body parts can turn.
Oh yeah, that's the Inhumans. Yeah, that's the
Inhumans. Yeah,
yeah. With Black Bolt, Medusa, and all them. Dude, that'd be sick.
That'd be crazy. He's essentially the Beast Boy of Marvel.
Right. He'd be good as Sunfire.
I'm with it.
Yeah, because I think Sunfire is an Asian American. I think. I think I could have that wrong.
Well, I mean, at this point,
It's
I
not
don't
like
even care if
it's not like he has to play an Asian character,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's like I tend to go with like the way their face looks compared to like the way the character's drawn.
I agree. Yeah, no, I get
Like Matt Ryan as John Constantine, dude.
he is Constantine. And that's just
And his voice is perfect.
Yeah.
You know, so.
for sure.
But, dude, tell me you're excited about X-Men 97, bro.
I'm stupid excited for X-Men 97. So X-Men, the cartoon, I think we actually talk about it on a few of our
it's
episodes.
definitely come up. There's no way it hasn't.
It's a huge staple in who we are as far as like comic lovers, pop culture lovers, Marvel fans.
Well, that's why I fell in
X-Men.
love with. That's why I fell in love with Wolverine.
Sure.
Wolverine, I think I'm torn. My favorite X-Men. You know, Wolverine's kind of a given because Wolverine is just like the cool, one of the coolest fucking characters ever created.
Yeah,
But as far as like X-Men goes, I think Cyclops is my favorite X-Men.
Cyclops is tight, but they have Nightcrawler, and Nightcrawler's my guy.
yeah.
And then Beast is my guy. It's like hard for me to say one. They're just all incredibly.
Gambit, dude, come on,
Gambit's a
Gambit.
beast, bro.
Well, like I cannot lie. When I watched the trailer for the first time,
Yes.
and the new '97 trailer, and it starts off with like the old tube TV screen or whatever.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and it shows like the last scene from the original series because that's where it picks off.
Yes.
The last, I think it's like the second to last scene of the trailer. It shows Cyclops' face. He goes, "To me, my X-Men," and I fucking started crying, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh god!"
Yeah.
Because it's about fucking time, because they didn't do that in the
Agreed.
cartoon.
Agreed.
Because it's what I think they're gonna do is follow the forget what the story arc is called. It's when Professor X is gone and Magneto comes and leads the X-Men. I think it's called House of M. I could be wrong.
House of M, it might be. I know House of M is heavily involved with the Scarlet Witch, so that's
So
when
I might have that mixed up then.
Yeah, that's when she does the no more mutants.
She like
and-
whispers it.
Yeah, and she literally writes them out of history.
Right. Yeah. So I think I've got that mixed up because there was a long period where Magneto was leading the X-Men.
Yes.
So I think that's it.
Well, Astonishing Comics, I think, went into that too.
My only issue is the way they fucking nerfed Rogue and her fucking booty.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, guys.
Yeah, that was such a big meme for so long
That's where
that
I got
like
that,
I was just like, man, I feel like you purposely took the ass out because everybody's talked about that so much.
Well, the 90s was the era of the big boob. They called it the era of big boobs and guns. You know what I mean? Like, you had all the comic books, like all like think about like Psylocke. She's a real good example.
Yes, yeah.
She basically just wears a bikini.
Yes.
And did you ever read Gen 13?
Why does it sound stupid?
If I showed you an image, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, I've seen that."
Yeah. It sounds familiar.
But every character, of course, is Rob Liefeld. He's the guy that created Cable and Deadpool, and
Right.
So like there are all the characters in them are just like overly masculine, have gigantic guns. All the women are just huge boobs, fucking as tight as the clothes can get. But that's when I fell in love with comics. I was like, okay, this is like a Lady Death. You remember Lady Death?
Yeah, well, Lady Death has a huge part of like Deadpool.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited for 97. No. That's what
real quick. Okay, guys, this is the first episode I've ever done 100% sober, and I feel different, and I'm ranting a lot.
No, I think we should take a little bit of time to talk about that.
I didn't mean to bring that up.
I want you to bring that up.
I just noticed that I'm different in the show, and you guys are going to start seeing a higher quality. You know what I mean? I went through my own little journey there. I was struggling, and but I just wanted to bring that up because I feel better. I feel brighter. I feel more involved in the conversation.
Right.
I'm more motivated to make comic crooks.
Right.
So, but all that aside, we're talking about X-Men.
No, I mean in general though, I'm so happy to be with you here.
Yeah, man.
I'm so proud of your journey.
It was not easy.
For sure.
It was not easy.
For sure.
The whole Irish being alcoholics is a stereotype for a reason. It kind of is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I still smoke pot, but that's just going to be something I always do.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's as bad as the other one.
But it's I think there's going to be a much higher quality in things that we put out. So
for sure, and we actually discussed a little bit. And we'll talk about definitely more on another episode. But we have talked about kind of discussing some real conversations, guys. We want to talk to you guys about some things that I think people don't like to talk about.
Yeah.
As far as like looking for help if needed.
Yeah. Well, I kind of hit a wall. Like I had to do something. Like I won't get into it too much, but I was drinking real heavy one night and I started eating mushrooms, and before I knew it, I basically gave myself alcohol poisoning. So it was a big wake up call. You know what I mean? Like, it's nice to not wake up hungover every fucking morning now. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I definitely I noticed in particular I have a lot less anxiety just in general.
Oh, yeah,
It's I didn't realize how much that contributed to it. You know what I mean? Like I don't. Of course, I still stuck in my own head all the time because we all are. But yeah. But I like what you're saying though. Like if you guys ever want to reach out to us on something like that, we'll definitely support you and talk to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then we also I think we would be failing this whole podcast if we didn't affect if we didn't discuss things that truly affect everybody on a daily basis, right? We talk about pop culture, okay? There's nothing more pop culture than the people.
Right. Yeah.
So you guys are awesome and we love you guys. So thank you guys for rocking out with us and everything that. And one thing we want you guys to know is you are appreciated. And you guys don't have to hear this every day. And you might not hear this every day is what I meant to say. But we love you guys. You're loved. You guys are super appreciated.
Yeah.
So, you guys are the best version of you. And there's no one who can replace you guys.
Right.
And that's really important for you guys to know. And we wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you guys. So I think it's really important to give you guys that recognition. So thank you guys for every person who streamed in, tuned in today for the stream.
Yeah.
And just in general,
we had a clunky start with the live stream.
Yeah. But just in general,
the more we do it, it'll be a little bit more streamlined.
I do have some really crazy Deadpool cameo rumors I need to discuss with you.
Okay.
I've seen proof, and I was kind of hoping I didn't want to say. So I have actively been trying to distance myself from Deadpool 3 things because when I go see the movie, I want every cameo just to be raw right there, surprise, holy shit. I was scrolling and fuck. And then I was like, are you serious? I had a feeling, but to see it, I was like, fuck.
The only one that I really know for fact is Tyler Mane. That's the main one I know about, the original Sabretooth.
Yes. So that's gonna that I don't know if it's gonna be Tyler Mane or it's gonna be.
I've seen the on-set footage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I seen and heard that they might do both. I mean, you gotta think this is a variation.
Leave Schreiber too. Yeah.
But him actually taking up more of a comic accurate Sabretooth.
Yeah.
But still being him, but more comic book accurate. And I'm like, fuck it, let's do this.
I fucking love Sabretooth, bro. Sabretooth is a perfect
fuck yeah. He's one of the baddest he's one of the most slept on villains, bro.
He tries to kill Wolverine every year on his birthday.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the pettiest shit in the world. So am I okay to give you this?
Yeah, of
okay,
course.
cool. I was scrolling and seen Mr. Ben Affleck
as Daredevil
and as Matt Murdock.
Nice, dude. Hell yeah.
So and then Jennifer Gardner picking back up the size and reprising her role as Elektra.
See, I'm down, bro. I don't know why people hated on that shit.
I know both were fire.
You got to remember when they came out. That's maybe they didn't age as well. Because you compare Charlie Cox to Ben Affleck, and
yeah. But the thing is, you can watch the Ben Affleck one and you can still appreciate it.
It was good though. It
was good. It was good for what the time was, for sure.
Oh yeah.
But yes, so they're going to be, because obviously this is going to do with the multiverse, they're going to be part of the Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for that. Very happy about that. The only thing, I guess, since I got it ruined for me, I just ruined it for everybody else.
Well, I've seen that most of the original X-Men cast is supposed to be in it.
Correct.
Like Halle Berry. Who's the... I forget homeboy's name that played Cyclops. He played Captain Kirk. Chris Pine.
Yes, Chris Pine. also, I guess the part where Patch is at the table, they say if you look closely behind him is actually someone dealing cards, and they are saying that it's Gambit, and it's gonna be
Shannon Tatum.
Shannon Tatum.
Nice, dude. Yes, yes, I am down for that.
Yeah, I literally give myself chills just saying that. Like,
well, I don't understand how that movie got kiboshed, dude. Like, Channing Tatum would be such a good Gambit, bro.
I'm happy that this multiverse saga has allowed us to see things that wouldn't be possible or wouldn't like. A lot of it got washed away. You know, a lot of these things they didn't get their chance. So it was nice to at least see them get their second chance, almost like in The Flash, where we didn't get Nicolas Cage as Superman, but you sure as hell got a little. Yeah. It wasn't the best CGI, and I'm not gonna. But it was cool to see the concept. You know what I mean? So,
right. Well, you know, in particular with me, it was Christopher Reeves. Dude. Like,
I know,
dude. Like I've talked about this on the show more than once, but I have a deep, deep, deep love for Christopher Reeve's Superman. It was the first superhero I ever experienced. Right. You know, the dun, 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 just like to this day that fucking gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. Dude. Like, dude, Christopher Reeves, like he will always, always, always be my Superman. Like I remember when Henry Cavill hit the scene. Henry Cavill is amazing, but I just remember thinking he doesn't look like anything like Christopher Reeves. Like when Brandon Routh played him, I was like, dude, come on now, because Brandon Routh is actually the Superman Returns is actually supposed to pick up. It picks up right where the last Superman movie ended. So that's because that's I think it was I forget what it was called. I forget what it was like Superman 5 or something like that.
Yeah. Because he's the gentleman who plays in the CW, right?
Yeah, he plays Ray Park. He plays the Atom.
Yep, he plays.
And he also put the cape back on in Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Crisis on Infinite Earths, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And he looked amazing as Kingdom Come Superman. Dude, that was amazing. Yeah. Because Brandon Routh is another one of those guys. It's like he's like 6'5". You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's just an animal, man.
Yeah, dude. And I caught myself laughing about the new cast for Superman Legacy. Mm-hmm. The last names of these people, like the Superman's the actor for her last name is Corn Sweat. And the actress that's going to play Supergirl, her last name is Alcock. But they dropped the first picture today of the cast did their first table read today, and they took.
I'm so impressed.
Yeah, dude, fucking, I'll watch anything with Nathan Fillion in it.
I'm gonna be real with you, man. When I lost my Henry Cavill. I say because he is my Superman.
Yeah. Well, David Cornsweat's going to be good.
I was really pissed off. I'm going to be honest. I was really pissed off. Dude. But then I kind of like really came along to this kid because I was like, he just looks like a younger Henry Cavill. Like, I mean, he does look like Henry Cavill.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
And then now, have you seen how much he's been lifted?
Dude, yeah,
he's getting jacked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, he looks like Superman. Like, I'm not even mad at him.
I haven't seen him in anything, so I don't know anything about his
his resume and just
I know that he's definitely got some stuff in the books, but I've just never seen any of it.
Yeah, I definitely.
And the girl that's playing Supergirl is she played Daenerys in the prequel to Game of Thrones.
Yes,
she looks inbred to me. She just does, dude. Forgive me for that. But
no, it's all good.
It's like I remember I couldn't watch that Game of Thrones series because like she looks like her parents are brother and sister.
I definitely am really excited for the casting of Lex Luthor.
Yeah, what's that kid's name? He played Beast in X-Men.
Yeah, he did.
And he was
Warm Bodies.
Warm Bodies. Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Renfield.
Oh, that's right. Dude, Renfield was great.
It was awesome.
Dude, Renfield was great.
We could talk about that whole thing.
Dude, Renfield was fucking great.
But I'm excited for that Lex Luthor.
Yeah, same. Like that.
I'm like, that reminds me of Lex Luthor.
Yeah, like Jesse Eisenberg. I didn't care for him as Lex Luthor.
You know who I always felt could have made a really decent Lex Luthor, and maybe people might not agree with it, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Is back in the '90s at least. The actor who ended up playing the Mummy in the Mummy movies.
What is that guy's name? I know exactly who you're talking about.
He looks exactly how he looks in the Justice League cartoon.
Right.
He does. Just looks just
Like,
like him.
and you know who did his voice in the cartoon, right?
Is it him?
No, it's Clancy Brown. He's just one of my favorite actors. He played the Kurgan in Highlander. He's Mr. Krabs in SpongeBob.
Clancy Brown. Okay, I know him.
Yeah.
He's in The Boys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's in The Boys. Yeah.
The Boys is another one. Have you seen Generation V?
I love Generation V.
Dude, so good.
You have to watch Generation
I've
V
seen
to
it
watch
all.
season 4 or 3 of The Boys.
Yeah. Generation V, I really enjoyed. You know, I thought that they did it's a good writing job.
Fuck yeah.
And then when they're in that dream sequence and Soldier Boy shows up.
That way, bro, I freaked. When I really walked into it, as far as like first thoughts was, I was like, fuck. I really hope they don't ruin it because this is the same universe as The Boys, right?
Right.
So I'm like, they have some really big shoes to fill, right? And I was like, I hope the tone's the same. I hope, and sure enough, it is. I mean, you're watching The Boys,
right?
You're watching The Boys.
There's like in the first episode, there's a nude explosion. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's perfect.
What was that character's name? Starboy or something like that. That the whole thing revolves around.
Yeah, and that's actually Mr. Terminator's son.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's Patrick
Schwarzenegger?
Yep.
Holy shit!
Yep. I didn't know that until literally a week after watching that, and I was like, "Get the hell out of here! That's Terminator's son."
Yeah.
I was like, crazy.
Well, like going back to Lex Luthor, I think one of my favorite Lex Luthor actors is Michael Rosenbaum.
That's the dude from
Smallville.
Yes.
And he did the Flash's voice all through the Justice League cartoons.
Yep.
And he's got an amazing podcast called Inside of You. That's one I have to recommend. Like he the most recent one he interviewed James Gunn. Johnny Benthrall has been on there.
Nice.
Yeah, Jensen Ackles has been on there. He does a series called Talkville, where him and Tom Welling, the guy that played Superman in Smallville, where they sit and rewatch episodes of Smallville and talk about what it was to make the episode.
That's super cool.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. But yeah, I couldn't let that spot go without mentioning Michael Rosenbaum.
For sure.
He's a personal favorite of mine.
No, yeah, for sure.
Because he made Lex seem super devious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he was always like right there as Clark's friend, but in the background of everything, he's like, no, I'm fucking this shit up.
Yeah. It's
like, I got some evil plan. You know what I mean?
Well, that was essentially what Lex Luthor was. He's completely threatened by the existence of Superman.
Yep.
He hates the fact that any man has that much power.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
did you see Superman All-Star Superman?
yes.
Yeah, that one was really good too.
Very good.
I heard that they're kind of going to be pulling from that a little bit for Legacy, but
Let's do it.
But the thing is, Superman dies at the end of All-Star Superman.
But I mean, they'll bring him back somehow.
Well,
I doubt they're gonna take the death. Well, I doubt James Gunn would do a Superman movie and end it where
he dies.
He dies. And that's his first DCU.
Yeah.
I think that would be a very poor decision. But then again, I have slept on James Gunn, and I will admit this. I've had moments where I'm like, James, I don't know what you're doing. But then I'm like, you know what? You kind of got to trust this process. If he does do something like that, it's because he has some crazy ass shit lined up. You know what I mean?
It's my second time mentioning it, but like he's good friends with Nathan Fillion, and so Nathan Fillion's going to be Guy Gardner, which I think I think it would have been better if he would have been Kyle Rayner or Hal Jordan, because Nathan Fillion's already done Hal Jordan's voice like 10 times.
I see why he's doing it though, and if I'm wrong, then cool. But if I'm right, awesome. Yeah. So I think he's going with the older OG Lantern, because it's probably gonna be some sort of nod to a younger Lantern taking over.
Well, they are going to be doing the Lantern Corps TV show, that's going to focus on Hal Jordan and John Edwards.
Yes,
John Stewart.
Yeah.
John Edwards is that psychic guy that was on TV in the 90s. I always mix those guys up.
But super crazy. What are you guys feeling about all the Deadpool kind of shit?
Yeah, dude.
The X-Men shit.
Well, Deadpool is going to be the only MCU movie this year.
You know what? I would love to talk about that. Dude, you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
I would like to talk about that. I had a conversation with my cousin Devontae. Shout out to my cousin Devontae. And I said, I am a super fan of the MCU. I love everything Marvel. But what I will say is lately the MCU just hasn't been the same. And I'm not dissing it because
Well, it
not
seems like they're
everything
phoning
is
it in.
trash, right? Because I'm not one of those, oh, the MCU's dead. That's not true at all. It's not even close to dead. What I will say is they ended up being, and I'm part of the problem, and everybody listening, you're part of the problem. And I'm going to explain why. As a fan, I want more and more content from Marvel. But this is what we are not understanding. We are putting pressure upon studios to drop a whole bunch of shit.
That's what happened to The Flash.
Exactly. Where we are not sitting here and saying, hey, let's let these guys take the time to make quality shit. They're making quantity, not quality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think the best move for the MCU, and I had this conversation with my cousin Devante again, I said, if they're going to make this world kind of come back to the same level, that feeling like Endgame and all that, is they need to slow down with production.
Oh, yeah.
I said they need to cut back on some movies. I'd rather 1 or 2 good movies a year than 5 or 6 shitty.
Right.
I wouldn't say shitty. I won't say shitty.
Not
Because
as
I'm going to be
good.
real. Some of their best shit is better than half of every franchise's good shit. Let's be real. In comparison.
Right.
But what I'm saying is I'd rather them put out something that's really groundbreaking than have a whole bunch of content that's like, oh, that was cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That was cool. And then so they caught on to that. And so now Bob Iger, Kevin Feige, all those gentlemen back at Disney and Marvel. And it's not only affecting Marvel, it's actually affecting every Disney project. So as far as Star Wars goes, all that stuff, they said going forward, we are not going to just drop a whole bunch of stuff. We will be focusing on quality.
Yeah.
Making sure that the story is good. Making sure it was to the point where Kevin Feige was like, okay, we already had Captain America 4 filmed. Wait, Anthony Mackie already filmed. He's like, yep, we're scrapping most of this and we're reshooting it. Because going forward, we're going to put out better quality shit.
Right, right.
So if it's not good, we will not drop it until it's perfect.
Right.
And I'm like, good.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just need that slower thing. And I'll tell you what, the year started off with Echo.
I haven't seen Echo yet.
I love the show.
I'm gonna watch it.
I think it was what it felt like. Honestly, the first few episodes, everything to me felt genuinely like the MCU again.
That's good.
With a darker tone, how the MCU kind of felt like. I was like, yeah, this feels like Marvel again. You know what I mean? It feels good. I will be honest. The finale was it was good. I liked it, but I was like, I feel like it took a little bit of the darkness out that I kind of wanted them to keep. But it was an awesome show.
Right.
And if this is if this is kind of Disney and Marvel's way of saying, hey, look, here you guys go. This is the type of stuff we're going to keep pushing and showing you like, hey, we hear you. I got you. We're fine. We're going to be okay.
So you make me think of, I was a real big fan of the HBO DC universe, and that really bummed me out that kind of petered out.
For sure.
You know, there was Doom Patrol, Titans, Stargirl.
I love Titans, yeah.
Doom Patrol, Stargirl, Titans, and then there's, I think, like 3 more that I'm forgetting. But, you know, that is like what you're talking about. They just, like, stopped putting stuff out because, like, have you seen Stargirl?
Yes.
Stargirl was good.
It was chock full of DC characters. I was
Right.
like,
That's
go.
why I liked it, because it made it feel, that's what made me think of it, because it made me feel like, it felt more like a comic book again. You know, like the outlandish characters, the costumes, you know, what was the Starman, the guy that plays Starman, he's a stand-up comedian. You know,
he was great. And then the robot.
Luke Wilson.
Yep.
He plays what was his name? Stripes or something like that. Stripes. Yeah, but that was really good. I'm excited for a lot of stuff coming up right now. You know what I mean?
I think it's a good year to be a nerd. Honestly,
Yeah.
even like off of like the superhero type stuff, Godzilla versus Kong
yeah,
2
dude, I'm excited for
is
that.
gonna be impact. I mean, it's gonna be a box office. This is gonna be like a corny punchline monster, but it's gonna be something, man. I'm so excited for a lot of stuff. What I will say is on the other side of like Marvel related shit is Sony's is dropping 3 movies this year. One has already dropped, which is Madam Web. Kind of leads me to what I was gonna say. I do want to talk about Madam Web. I'm not gonna fake the funk and be like everybody else online and be like, it was the worst fucking movie I ever seen. Oh, it wasn't the worst. Okay, it was not the best.
Yeah.
Super flawed, super complicated. Where it was supposed to be complicated because she's supposed to be like this. She's essentially, obviously, the Doctor Strange of the Spider-Verse, right?
Yeah.
They were trying to play on that, and it was just not executed properly. Nothing against Dakota Johnson, nothing against any of the actresses and actors. They're amazing. I've seen every single one of them in different movies. Incredible. Shitty writing.
That's kind of like the way they did. Like Ezekiel is one of my favorite comic book characters, and like
You're gonna be so disappointed.
that's what I keep hearing. Because like that's one of my favorite story arcs too. Is when they bring in the whole thing that Peter is a totem. That he's no matter what universe he's in, no matter what timeline he's in, no matter what, he's destined to have these powers to be the spider totem.
Right.
Like they get into like all of his enemies are totems too. The rhino, the vulture, the octopus, the chameleon. They're totems. So in any single universe, these people are destined to. The vulture, another one. Right. They're destined to have these abilities and stuff to be a totem of this. Like in the comic, the very first spider-powered person was Anansi.
I think so.
It's actual an African god. It's an actual thing. It's the spider god.
Rock. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, and then without any spoilers, like if they didn't bring in Moreland to that story, they completely dropped the ball. Because that's the whole point of that story arc is Moreland is going from universe to universe to universe, absorbing the spider totem, and then
he's not in it.
Yeah, so they completely because that's the whole reason that Ezekiel goes to Peter is because like I have the comic right over there.
Yeah,
where Ezekiel's sitting barefoot with no costume on.
Oh yeah, he has his little like tux without a tie,
yeah.
So they. It's because, like, every time I talk about this, I feel like I'm defending it, but I'm not. So, like, there was really cool shit that happened in this movie. I feel like people were so caught up with a lot of the corny stuff, because I will be honest, the movie had a lot of humor that I found myself not laughing at.
Yeah.
Like, it was supposed to be a funny moment, and it just nothing. So it was really shitty writing. It has nothing to do with Dakota Johnson. She's actually really awesome. I think she's an awesome actress. The costumes were like, I was like, oh, that shit looks pretty tight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna burst your bubble, buddy. The costumes are in the movie for maybe in a total of 6 minutes.
That's garbage.
I'm not even joking.
That's garbage. Well, then they didn't even make Madam Web look right at all.
No, and then the comic, the close enough to comic accurate suit she has, I'm not even joking with you, is on screen for seconds.
That's crap.
4 seconds.
Yeah.
The way the story goes is really odd. It's just all over the place. And again, nothing to the actors. I think it truly was just shitty writing. There was some really cool things. So she worked hand by hand with Uncle Ben.
Oh, that's cool.
So he's younger, and his sister Mary was pregnant in the movie.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm kind of spoiling stuff. If you guys have not watched Madam Web, I would fast forward a little bit longer. We'll let you know how. So they have a baby shower, and it's blue balloons because it's a boy.
Oh, okay.
And she actually gives birth in this movie.
And it's Peter?
And it's Peter.
Nice, dude. Nice.
So that was such an epic moment that I feel like, I was like, whoa, that's fucking, this is crazy. Never in any movie have we seen the birth. Peter start, he didn't start everything, but like, he's like such a, he's like the fucking Statue of Liberty of this shit. You know what I mean?
Right,
yeah. So I was like, dude, how is it that people got so caught up in all the shitty shit that they didn't
catch Peter being born?
That's fucking epic. That's huge, you know? So I'm like, that's really cool. Again, there's a lot of opportunities missed here. I don't blame her. So actually, from what I've been reading and what I've been told, is actually when Sony got Dakota Johnson to agree to be Madam Web, they lied and told her she would be part of the MCU.
I heard that. Yeah, I heard that.
So she actually was cool with the girl who plays Scarlet Witch, which is Elizabeth Olsen. Asked her tips, how to do this and how should I do this? Because, I'm going to be in an MCU. When she got, they approved her saying, yeah, you're going to be the one we choose. She went online and tagged Marvel Studios, thanking them. Sony lied.
That's fucked up.
Sony lied to him just to get because Dakota Johnson's a big name.
Yeah.
And I guess from what she said, they cut so much scenes of what the movie was supposed to be. And she's like, what that movie is shit. And she actually fired her talent scout.
Really?
A week after, 3 days after the trailer dropped.
Really?
Yes. Fired her. Fired him or her. Crazy. So this is not the first time I've heard of Sony doing things similar to this. I'm really worried that Sony thinks because it's relative to Spider-Man, we can drop a movie and everybody will buy it. And they're sadly mistaken.
Yeah.
They're very sadly mistaken. You have to still, I'll be fair. Marvel's did that a little bit too. They said, "Oh well, if we drop a movie and has a Marvel character, everybody's gonna love it." And we won't. We are at the point of superhero level appreciation that we are expecting a good story. We want something that's compelling. If it was the early 2000s, you could have got away with it just having him.
That's a real good point. Yeah, that's a real
early
good
2000s
point.
was not about complex building characters or emotional attachments. It wasn't about that. It was about being in a cool costume, kicking ass,
And explosions.
right? But we're so past that that you can't just give us that and we're like, oh, that's a good movie. We're just like, what the fuck did we just watch?
Yeah.
Right? So they missed the ball with Madam Web. They have two more chances to make this right. I will be honest. I don't think they will. Sony has been doing this thing lately with all their Marvel-based characters from Spider-Man where they want to make whatever happens to them when they become the A, B, and C, they want to make it more grounded.
Yeah.
That is their downfall. This is the problem with Sony is they don't realize that they're dealing with comic book characters. Get a little nuts. Get a little nuts.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's comic book shit. So we will accept if something came from fucking space and that we will accept magic. We will accept fucking space shit.
Time travel.
Time travel. I think that they see it so much in the MCU that they're trying to go a different route, but it's not working for them. They're trying to do Morbius, he has a defect, and he's gonna go get vampire bats, and come on, man.
In the comic, he got it because he was experimenting with Peter's blood, and it had something like a bat got mixed into it somehow, one way or another. I forget. It's been a long time since I've read that, but they even did it. They did it properly in the Spider-Man cartoon. Mm-hmm. They brought in Blade and everything.
Yeah, that's exactly my point.
I think Blade was probably one of the first ones, I think.
Well, Blade's ended up teaming up with Morbius.
Yeah, I mean, as far as movie releases, because you're talking about the 2000s.
Oh yeah, I think Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck, I forgot about
Howard the Duck was one of them.
Do you know Howard the Duck's like a multi-dimensional being, right? He's crazy powerful.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, no, absolutely. And then the thing, okay. So, in the Madam Web movie, the mother was pregnant with Madam Web. And she has a defect that she was going to be born disabled. She's not able to walk.
This is in Madam Web?
This is Madam Web. I see what they were doing because obviously Madam Web will end up in a wheelchair. That's going to happen.
Yeah,
she's going to be blind and in a wheelchair. That's part of her character. Cool. But they made it that she went to the Amazons pregnant and she had to find a spider because this had this healing factor. And they're just doing the same thing over and over again and not learning from their mistakes. Did I not just mention the Morbius concept? It's the same concept.
Yeah, no kidding, right? It is. Yeah.
I'm like,
it's a carbon copy.
Yeah, I'm like, Sony, get it together. There was one scene that was kind of cool. I do want to talk about my fault. There's a scene where she's talking about this ancient group of people who live in the Amazons, and they possess the powers of spiders. And that is something from the comics too. So I'm not saying that that wasn't. And they can walk, they can crawl on walls, and they can do A, B, and C. And she's like, well, I wouldn't know if I had that ability unless I tried it. So there's a scene where literally it took the same music from Tobey Maguire's scene,
that's cool.
where he's about to crawl the walls, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So when he first realizes that the things come out,
the hairs,
yes. So the music comes out, and she like tries to do it, and she does kind of imitates him, and she falls over, and I was like, that was funny. That was funny, and that worked. That's what you guys should have, you know what I'm saying? It was yeah. I want to see what Venom 3 is going to be.
Yeah, I keep saying the things that it's going to be. I'm sure it's fake, but I keep saying the title is going to be called Along Came a Spider. But
I keep seeing that. I even heard that there's going to be. I hear 2 different plots. One was going to be that he's going to be in Mexico, and some dude's going to be a werewolf, and he has to defend. Obviously,
lethal protector.
The lethal protector thing. And there was a comic where a dude turned into a werewolf, and yeah. And I was like, okay, I wouldn't even be opposed to that. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't even be opposed to that if it's done well. Then the second one was that he finds out, since he had the experience with Peter Parker in the MCU, he finds out that Spider-Man is da. So he's actually goes to look for Peter Parker in his world to protect him from people, so he can become Spider-Man.
Interesting.
So I was like, I don't know if I love that, but I don't hate it.
Yeah. I want to see the Borderlands movie. Dude.
That shit looks fucking crazy.
Did you see the new standalone Predator movie coming out?
I'm so excited.
I think that's
they're actually
called Wasteland.
Yeah, they hired, I forget his name, but he's a horror movie director.
That's what it needs to be.
And they made it back to horror movies. And I was like, yes.
That's what Predator needs to be.
Yeah,
that's how it started. Mm-hmm. You know. And then, God, there's a couple other ones coming out that I was, of course, like now that I want to talk about them, I can't remember what they were.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of shit. Even have you get the chance to check out? I don't know if it's Amazon or I think it's Amazon. Amazon Prime Videos, and it's Twisted Metal.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet, but I want to see that so bad.
I love it.
Yeah, Anthony Mackie,
dude.
right?
Yeah, Anthony Mackie. He plays the role so well.
Is he Spectre?
Yes.
Oh, see, that's perfect.
Yeah. He kills it. I mean,
the guy playing Sweet Tooth is pretty badass too.
Yes,
but it's not his voice; it's Will Arnett's voice.
I just love they just made it look just like the game. Yeah, so I was completely and utterly like, okay, I'm cool.
Yeah, I'm down for a Twisted Metal show
for sure.
Yeah, but brother, we just hit an hour. We'll
awesome.
So guys, we're gonna bring it to a close so we don't use up all of our topics in one sitting.
Yeah.
So. We're going to try the live stream again next time, and thank you guys for joining us. You want to send them out?
Comic Cook family, as I always say, take care of one another. Yeah. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves.
And we're going to get back to 1 episode a week.
We're going to level up, man. I know we've made promises in the past. I will address the elephant in the room. I know we've heard this. We will be knocking things out.
Yeah, once a week is going to be our new mandatory thing.
Correct.
Once a week, whether it's over, like,
yep.
We got to get your studio up and running.
Yep.
So, but yeah, so next, if you guys definitely drop opinions on what we talked about today.
For sure.
Let us know what you want to hear next. Yep. All that kind of stuff. So.
We also have TikTok. We have a TikTok now.
Oh yeah. Shout out to TikTok. Yeah. It's just the Comic Crooks, right?
The Comic Crooks. Let me just double check. I just want to make sure that's it. So we got the TikTok going. Follow us on Facebook.
Yes.
Some of you guys have showed some love. We greatly appreciate that. We do need more people showing some love.
Yeah, and we're gonna start doing some more interviews and stuff like that. I'm gonna.
For sure.
My neighbor is a really amazing photographer. He's gonna be having like an actual art show coming up pretty soon, so we're gonna interview him.
Yeah, and so I also wanted to shout out.
I
wanted to shout out a gentleman. I consider this man a modern comedy genius. His name is Jacob Hoffman.
And he's let us know
And,
that he's a fan of the show.
He did. He let us know he's a fan of the
That's
show.
so cool, man. That's
And
so
it,
cool.
yeah, it hit way different. I'm a huge fan of him. If you guys don't know who he is, you guys can find him.
We gotta
It's
get him on the
official Bad Daddy on Instagram. He's hilarious.
We got to get him on the show, man.
Yeah, we're definitely trying to get him on the show.
And we're gonna get John Lehman here again pretty soon too. We got to email that guy.
Yes, we will be getting back in touch with John Lehman. I know a lot of people enjoyed that episode.
It's by far our most popular episode. So.
Yeah, for sure. We do have a couple things lined up, and we're just gonna keep grinding. We're gonna keep grinding. We're gonna keep doing what we gotta do, guys.
Finally working on ad revenue and that kind of stuff. So
For sure. So thank you guys again for tuning in. We know that you have tons of options, so we appreciate every time you choose us.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. So we love you guys.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.